turn 2 is uphill and to the right. You can see the digital flags there on the right hand side. Turn 3 is blind left. You don't see it until you come up over that hill. Hey everybody, this video is going to cover the new Ozarks International Raceway in Gravois Mills, Missouri. Amazing track, got a chance to run this at a private event recently. It's extremely technical. I'm going to talk more about that in a sec. That's me on the right. I had my 2020 Shelby GT500 out there. We started out the day in the rain, but it got dry later on. As you enter into the track area, this building is registration will be on your right, and then after that you're going to drive underneath the track, and as you can see there, it's kind of a tighter squeeze if you have a large vehicle. As you come through the tunnel underneath the track, you're going to come up on the other side by the garages. The garages are fan-frickin-tastic. Nice big new facilities, lots of parking space in there, get you out of the rain if it is raining. And inside the garages, there's parking on both sides for cars. We ended up doing our briefing in there, which you're going to see in a bit. The garages have nice restroom facilities, both sides there. Prior to going out on the track for the first time, we had our meeting. This was one of the event organizers there. This guy here is the owner, talking about some ins and outs of the track, and very helpful information. Okay, taking a look at the track itself. It is 3.97 miles long track, 19 turns, very technical, filled with blind hills and turns, walls and barriers everywhere. This is referred to as the most technical track in North America, as well as called the Nurburgring of the US. Alright, we're going to go to the in-car view here in just a sec, but first satellite view. The garages are there on your lower left. You're looking at pit lane there. Coming on track, turn 1, off camber, downhill, that's the turn that'll bite you. I'll walk you through all the turns when we go to the in-car view, but just for this overview, this is an intimidating track. I would not recommend it for a first-timer that has never been to a road course before. Even for experienced road coursers, it's intimidating. It's a long technical track, 19 turns, a lot of blind hills and turns, difficult to memorize. It's going to take you quite a few trips around the track before you really get comfortable. We did a slow session, no helmet, slow speed, just going around the track to help learn. I highly recommend that. If you don't have that opportunity, at least do a lead follow. Alright, Ozarks International Raceway. We're going out for a slow orientation. It's wet. It has stopped raining for now, but it's wet. So here we go with the in-car view. My buddy's riding shotgun with me for this orientation. This, like I said earlier, this is a slow speed, no helmets, no harnesses, just a slow speed cruise on the track. We did many laps this way. It was very helpful in learning this track. Like I said earlier, it's 3.97, 19 turns, very long, very technical. There are barriers and walls everywhere, 1,200 feet elevation changes around this track. Very intimidating track that you must respect. We went out first in the wet. It was raining off and on during this orientation session. Wet makes this track even more challenging. There's a turn in the backside here, which we'll be talking about in a bit, where there was basically a river running across the track due to improper drainage. Good to see all this. Despite the wet, it was still pretty decent grip. You know, the surface is new, so it's not old, worn out surface, so good grip still. All right, so this is turn 1. This is what they say, turn 1 will bite you. Really got to respect this. As you're coming around, you know, we're coming on through pit lane, but as you're coming around from turn 19 into turn 1 with some speed, it's off camber, you know, angles towards the wall, goes downhill, car can get unloaded, and if you tap the brakes, it's going to be a recipe for disaster. Turn 2 is uphill and to the right. You can see the digital flags there on the right hand side. Turn 3 is blind left. You don't see it until you come up over that hill. Turn 4, sweeping to the right. Stay committed to this turn. Keep turning right. Don't start sliding out because it feels like it kind of tightens up towards the backside of turn 4 here. But keep favoring right. You see the cone there, and then start to cut back across for turn 5. Turn 5, another kind of blind hill here. As you come over, you can start to see the area. It's a faster section of the track. Stay left, and you're going to come up into 6, which is blind, going into the S's, which are fun. You'll see a little better when I show the external view on the next lap, but this is going into the S's here, turn 6. You cut across all the shoulder curbing there to kind of straighten out the S's as best you can, but really a fun area of the track. As you come out of the S's, you can see there's another blind crest here. Blind hills, blind straights, just crests all over, going into turn 7. Sweeping to the right, and you're starting downhill here. This is the high speed area of the track. I think they call this the roller coaster. I'm driving a 760 horsepower car, so it took me a while to build up to sticking my foot into it, and even then I didn't stay foot into it all the way through this section. It's sporty. You're coming over hills you can't see over the other side. Another digital flag set up on the right. 7, you know, through the roller coaster into coming up on turn 8. Favor left. Cut inside to kind of straighten this turn out best you can. And we're coming back uphill. And 8 to 9, this is sporty because it's a very long cresting hill, and you just simply cannot see where you're going. Some of these blind turns have markers. You can see those on the right. It's telling you we're going to be turning right here, coming up into turn 9. Not many of the turns have those, but some do, and they are helpful. So favoring left, cutting back to the right through turn 9, and we're heading back downhill. Another higher speed section of the track, and you can actually see through this one, which is nice. You're going to work your way and stay left from 9 going to 10. Some of these turns following higher speed sections have brake markers. You see those on the right. Turn 10 is another long cresting hill, right turn. Another digital flag station, which are real handy around the track there. This is a faster turn and sweeps over the hill back down. Stay to the right, and brake markers again on the right side there, and you're going to turn hard left for turn 11, going back up the hill. Turn 12 is a sweeper to the right. Speeds are a little higher. Big caution if it's wet when you go to your track day. Turn 13 is essentially the river. So as you've got speed coming back here after 12, heading into 13, be cognizant that there is going to be running water across the track here. And you can actually see it here as I'm coming up on it. And you're turning pretty hard here for turn 13, so a good place to get sideways and lose grip. 13 is uphill and to the right, moderately blind. You can see that you're going to the right. But as you're coming into 14, a big word of caution here. You can see there's a bid back to the left here to set yourself up for the tight right-hander that makes up 14. In the braking zone going into 14, there's a bit of a hop, a jump, a skip. And if you're coming in hot and get on the brakes hard and bid back to the left, your car will skip to the side. So be careful going into 14 about that. As my speed increased through the day, I learned to take less of a bid back to the left to keep the car from getting upset. All right, this is turn 15, a sweeper downhill to the left. You can see through this turn, no big deal. Turn 16, uphill right. The car will G up here as you bid hard into the right side there. Another long cresting hill as you come out of 16. You want to favor left. You're going to see a cone start to appear on the left side. You want to be over by that cone there, that green one right there. And we're going into the tightest section of the track. Turn 17 is a hard right into the hairpin. And then we bid back hard left, turn 18, coming into the front section. If you need to go into pit lane, you would bid right here and go into the pits. Otherwise, this is the sweeping left with concrete wall all along the right side here. Watch your speeds, especially earlier on when you're learning this track. This is a bit deceiving here. Unforgiving concrete wall on the right side. And as you come sweeping through the front section here, you go into the infamous turn 1, which like I said at the beginning of this, it'll bite you. You're going to be carrying some speed now after having not come out of pit lane. Turn 1 again is off camber, angled towards the wall, downhill. And if you come in here with a lot of speed, you're going to want to brake before you get to this turn, as opposed to once you start and go down off camber, you don't want to hit the brakes here because it will unload the rear end.